We almost have our first draft. All right. So now we're looking at references. Generally speaking, you don't have to put references on your resume. Usually, employers will ask for that as a separate thing. But again, if you don't have a ton of job experience, you definitely want to put it, and don't put available upon request, right? In that case, just don't put the section at all. Like here, you actually want to list uh, 2 to 3 good references, maybe 1 or 2. That are going to be strong for you. And again, you want to make sure you're picking someone that knows you well, right? But also knows you in sort of a professional context. It doesn't really help to have your mom as a reference, right? Like, because obviously your mom's biased, they're going to think you're the greatest thing in the world. Most employers aren't going to take them that seriously. So here's somewhere where you want to put maybe a teacher or a coach you worked with, or maybe if you're in like a youth group with your church, like someone like a pastor that you work with there, someone that knows you well, but has also seen you take responsibility and execute it on things, demonstrate organization, academic skills, things like that, so they can really talk more about the kind of work you might be ready to do. Before you put someone down as a reference, though, make sure you ask them. If it's someone that you are uncomfortable asking to be your reference, or you don't know well enough for that to be a comfortable thing to ask, then they probably shouldn't be your reference, right? Again, a reference should be from someone that you know well and trust to say the right things about you. If you don't know them very well, haven't talked to them much, and don't know if they can speak kindly about you, don't have them be your reference, because when somebody calls them, they probably won't have great things to say. So in that case, it's better to have no references than a bad one, right? Um, so what are you going to put in this section, right? Just like the example to the side, you're just going to have a name, contact information, and relationship to you. So, right, maybe I'm going to get a recommendation from, I don't know, you can put me, right? Mr. Greg Callahan, right? You're going to put contact information, we already put it above, but right? Cunningham Avenue, Jose, blah, blah, blah. Right, put my email, because that's really, these days, probably the most important part. No one writes letters anymore. And get my phone number. If you don't have it, that's why you're asking, right? Put it down there. All right. Now, the final thing is that relationship. That's kind of key. Again, when you are doing references, it's really important for the person to know what they are doing, right? So in this case, I would say, you can be like assistant principal or, teacher, whatever, right? Instead of doing address sometimes too, what I might put here is what the person's current role is. So I could put Mr. Callahan, Director of SEL, Alpha Public Schools, right? To be honest, at this point, that's probably more helpful than necessarily their address, so keep that in mind. That's another thing you can put. The more impressive the title that they have, the more impressive a reference they might be for you, right? Again, as far as relationship, that is kind of saying a professional relationship, boss, teacher, pastor. If you put mother, again, probably not the best reference, and you might not want to put it at all.